Would you believe me if I said that you could find over $3,000 in your budget in just 15 minutes? Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, and stay tuned to find out how. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. All right, let's jump in, you guys, because so many people that I meet in my line of work have lived paycheck to paycheck, or they're living paycheck to paycheck most of their adult lives. And we have found the number one emotion around money is, unsurprisingly, stress. So I've been doing these webinars once a week for the past couple of months, and I also get DMs on social media. I get calls in from the Ramsey show, and so literally, regardless of where I am and people or have questions around money, or they want to change what they've been doing with money, I do find that, yes, that paycheck to paycheck living cycle is so common, so normal. And also stress, anxiety, and fear are so high on the emotional scale for people. And it's not until they actually start working a plan, getting out of debt, budgeting, that we see those numbers completely flip, where actually hope, the emotion of hope skyrockets, the emotion of, even being motivated, having motivation skyrockets. And then those more negative emotions of anxiety and fear and all of that end up going down. And so we see that over and over again. And it's a really beautiful thing. But again, getting on the plan is key, because the average family pays out $1,237 a month in non-mortgage debt. You guys, that's a really expensive way to live. If you give that amount of money away every single month out to banks and credit card companies and Sally Mae versus keeping it and actually paying yourself that money or investing that money, you're going to be in that paycheck to paycheck cycle for a long time. But let's say that you were out of debt in the next 2 years and you start actually investing that money instead of paying it out. You actually invest it. And let's say you start at age 44 and you, instead of it going out to debt payments every single month, you invested it. And you started at zero and you invested every single month from the age of 44 all the way to 65. Do you know you would have over $1 million saved? That's what's crazy. And that's with the rate of return of 10%, which again is pretty much the average of what the S&P 500 has done over the last 40 years. But you can go and actually change some of those numbers, because let's say you're 35 and you start this. How much more is that going to be? Let's say you actually have some money, maybe in your 401k, a couple $1,000 starting off there and then adding to that. So these numbers change, and usually in a positive way, because that debt and that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, it is costing you retirement. And so being able to be out of debt, y'all, is huge. Now, in order to find money to invest, not just from your debt, is budgeting and understanding how to do this. So I want to kind of give you a quick overview of EveryDollar, because there's parts of it that are new and improved, and they're amazing. And the new users that are doing EveryDollar are finding on average $3,015 of margin in their first 15 minutes with EveryDollar to put towards debt in their first 30 days, which we love. That is what we want. So the first thing I want you to do, part one of this, is a think level budget. And so this is going to be for 5 minutes. I want you to create a budget. So this is not going back to, the previous months and trying to figure out numbers. This is high level, kind of a guesstimate, if you will, of a budget. Now, if you download EveryDollar, you can do it within EveryDollar, but think through all the categories that you spend money on. And this is food, your bills, electricity, water, cell phone, insurance, childcare, miscellaneous, everything that you spend money on. I want you to list those out, and your income minus all of those categories, including giving and saving, should equal zero. So again, this is a high level. I want it quick. So again, don't have, an paralysis of the analysis. Don't be, stopping and being like, okay, I'm going to go back to the last 3 months and try to calculate and find the precise number. No, not here. Okay. I want you to just do it high level and quick. We want numbers down. Okay. Then we can move on to part two, which is bank account connectivity. So you're going to connect your bank to your budget. So to EveryDollar, you're able to search your bank or your credit union that you use, and it's completely safe. A lot of people kind of freak out about this. We use a lot of third-party companies to protect, because trust me, we want this safe. Winston and I connect our bank account to EveryDollar. So I'm telling you, you can do this, okay? So after it's done, the beautiful thing, though, is that all of your transactions will go into the app. And so daily, you can log into the app and you can actually track and drag over all your transactions to the category that it's coming out of. So if it's food, and Aldi comes up because you went to Aldi, went shopping, you can drag and drop that into the food category or the grocery category. And it's great because it does the math for you. It shows you what you have left in each category, and you're able to keep track. Because if you do a budget and not know where your money's going, it's not going to do anything, right? Like, you don't know how much you have left in clothing if you don't track and know how much have you already spent on clothing or whatever it may be. So being able to do that is really big. This is a big part of budgeting, is tracking your transactions. Now, the third part of this, which is more new and approved to EveryDollar, which I love, is the personalized coaching. Okay, so you're going to go through about a 15-minute questionnaire where it's going to ask you every possible aspect of your life and your money: retirement, insurance, side hustles, everything, you name it, to get as much information as possible to know where you are financially. And then the beautiful thing is the digital coaching experience will give you up to 16 recommendations of what you can do. And this can look like everything from changing your tax withholdings if you got a big, tax return, changing insurances, looking at your out to eat category. It just like in an instant can look over everything and tell you, here's what you can do. And the great thing is within these recommendations, you get to decide, yes, I want to do that recommendation. And you can click yes. Or you can say, nope, I don't want to do it. And you don't have to do it. Or within it, you can change it. Let's say, you have $3,000 saved up for a vacation, but you're in EveryDollar and you have debt. It's probably going to say, hey, don't go on vacation. Use that money to pay off debt. And maybe you decide, against Ramsey principles, that's okay, where you're like, no, I'm still going to go, but I'm not going to spend as much. So maybe I only spend $1,000 and I'll put $2,000 towards debt. Like whatever it looks like, you can even change the numbers within the recommendations. But what we find on average is that people are finding $3,015 from these recommendations, which is amazing. Now, before we dig into this more, I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Delete Me. If you don't remove your personal data from the internet, your name, your address, your email, even your kids' names are out there on sketchy data broker websites. And these data brokers collect your data, sell it, and that puts you at risk for scams and fraud. But the good news is Delete Me removes your data and helps protect you from phishing, harassment, and other online threats. Winston and I use Delete Me, and it saves us so much time and worry. So protect your family's privacy and safety by signing up for Delete Me. Go to joindeleteme.com/Rachel for 20% off, bringing your monthly cost to under $9, or just click the link in the description. So again, up to these recommendations, they'll offer you 16 and you get to decide. And that's what I love about this is like you have the power to say, here's what I want to do. Now, beyond the digital coach experience, there's group coaching. So you can go in almost daily, and there are different topics around budgeting that our team puts on. It's completely free, but you can go in and do this group coaching. And it's everything from, how to budget with your spouse, how to budget with an inconsistent income, how to budget, when you're first starting out, budgeting 101, like all different topics around budgeting. That group coaching is there, and they're there for you to answer your questions and to help you. And then there's also one-on-one coaching that's completely free. You can do up to a 10-minute call with one of our coaches if you have a specific question about your specific situation, which is so great because all of this, you guys, we've been wanting to do as a company for a while, because the coaching part and being able to have someone walk with you with your situation has been so huge. And how to find that from a resource standpoint, and even like AI and digital and everything that our world has now, being able to figure out how to do that best for you as an individual is everything. So we are really, really excited about this. And there's something powerful about having someone on your team. And so you will never be stuck when you're doing this. When you're doing an EveryDollar budget now, you will not be stuck, because it's more than just your budget. It is looking at your entire financial picture, which is a really beautiful thing to keep you on track, which is part of paying off that debt, getting yourself in a place where you're saving and investing, which I love. So moral of the story is the new EveryDollar is not just a budgeting app. It is your entire financial picture. And we are so excited about it and excited for you to hit your next financial goals, because it is so important. The level of margin that you're going to get obviously varies. So if you need to add a side hustle into the mix, you can get some inspiration from my episode, 7 Creative Side Hustles for an extra $1,000 a month. You can click right here, or if you're listening on podcast, click the link below. All right, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.